Hey everyone, today with us on NFT Shield, we have one of my favorite creator, Matt. How are you doing today?
I'm amazing, Maurizio. How are you doing, my friend?
Oh, it's so nice to have you. You know, it's been so long. We've done a bunch
Absolutely.
of videos together and I'm so happy to have you again on the channel. I
No
cannot wait to
problem.
hear what you have for us today because I know you've been working a lot on some super cool stuff.
Thank you. Nah, absolutely, Maurizio. It's been amazing. I'm so glad we got another chance to actually catch up with you again. But yeah, it's been absolutely busy. I think it's been what, close to a year, maybe, or something like that. Maybe it's been a long time anyway, but it's been amazing. And yeah, man, I'm so glad that we get to chat today.
Same, as I'm a big fan of everything you've done so far. I'm an OG ToastPunk holder. I have the Genesis. So, hey, brother, I'm all in for everything you do. I know you have a huge community behind you. So, again, very glad you decided to do this with us today.
Nah, thank you, man. The cool part about our community is they are the most nicest people you can ever find in the space. They are people that learn. They're people that learn to help each other as well. You know, they go always with our values, which is to support, care, and give. And you know, man, I can't ask for a better community, and I just so glad that that we got the support of everyone there.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. You know, communities tend to create themselves based on the leaders. So, of course, you'll have good people, right? So,
Thank you, man.
it makes sense.
I always say this. I said although I'm the founder, what makes the project is the community. Ultimately, it is the community. I can only do so. I'm me and my team. We produce the tech. We deliver on what we need to deliver, but the community behaves in their own way, and I'm actually really glad with the behavior of our community because I've been seeing so many things that happen out there and on what has happened. People always care about floor price and this and that, and like it's ours is about education. Ours is about connecting, always building towards a better future for everyone. And I think that's super 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 crucial.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And by the way, guys, please go and follow Matt and his community. I'm going to link everything in the
Thank
comment down
you.
below. Your Discord is one of my favorite by far. So yeah, make sure you guys follow Matt and put likes this
Absolutely.
video because it's going to help us.
Thank you, absolutely, man. Good on you, Maurizio. And I heard you've been doing some crazy things as well, my friend.
Yeah, the NFT Shield is growing, developing. Having Da Vinci as partner. We had a chat off camera earlier.
That is
There's been a lot of
awesome.
movements coming in. We are working on a redesign UI as well. So very soon you'll be able to show your NFTs, not as much as because right now is very focused on creators. So if you are someone who has a collection, you can go and list for free. But if you are someone who has NFTs and you are not a creator, very soon you'll be able to show off your NFTs, which is something that nobody does. Very exciting stuff coming in. Yeah.
Having that partnership with Da Vinci is awesome. One of the original Bitcoin whales. I reckon, man, that is a match made in heaven for you guys. And really, really, you deserve it. One of the better guys out there in the space that is, continuing to proceed on. So, man, I'm so happy for you.
No, thank you. And by the way, I'm not saying this because he's my partner, but to be honest with you, I didn't know Da Vinci. I've met him in Dubai. And when you watch someone on YouTube for so long and then you end up in meeting them, you have all these kind of expectations. And man, he's even better than I imagine. He's like a very down
Man,
on
that is
earth, very
awesome.
honest person, hardworking. So, and he has so many ideas. Of course, he's an OG, so he's been experiencing the blockchain for a very long time. But it's been a blessing. Yeah, I'm very happy. Yeah.
That is super cool. I can't wait to come to Dubai and catch up with you guys, man.
Oh yeah, you have to. We are waiting you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Awesome. So let me do a share screen so that we can take
Sure.
everyone through all this awesome stuff you guys are working on because I know you've been busy, right?
Super busy, bro. I am like you can probably see it in me. It's like tiring, but you know what? We already knew when we entered this space what we were up for. So yeah, to me, it's just another day to get things done. It's okay.
In Melbourne it's really late, so I appreciate the time
No
difference.
problem, man. It's Sunday, 11 o'clock. Well, it's 11:30 now in the night, but it's all good, man. That's what the Web3 is about.
Nice. So what's happening with the Racer Cloud? I want to know everything.
Yeah, man. So obviously, with you, we sold out the Genesis project, the OG project. Had a lot of collaborations with students and universities. And the original plan was ToastPunk World, and which is like an open metaverse kind of concept to bring personal characters in and things like that. And the reality is we went through that whole pathway. We went through the whole R&D stage to see whether or not how possible that is. And the reality is, yes, we can go ahead and build one if you really want to. The problem I have, and that's how this particular game stemmed from, was that having an open world, we are going to have the same problem what we're going to have currently with the existing metaverses like Sandbox and Decentraland and others, where what main problems we're talking about is essentially the population part of things. Because yes, you can have a real hyped up launch, you can have a real hyped up token launch, and people coming in. You can host Snoop Dogg in there, you can host celebrities in there. But is that what people really want to actually log in and do every day? I don't think so. That doesn't matter how what it is. Like, I think people are still very used to the current Web2 methods of how they do things. So it's very difficult to onboard this part here, and we've seen it this whole year. And lucky we called it not off, but we parked the ToastPunk World project at the side to say, hey, let's build. If you're going to build a metaverse, or we're going to build something for the community and for the space, let's build it from the ground up. Number one. Number two is, let's build it that people will actually start using it, and let's actually tackle some serious issues in the space. So yeah, I can bring you through this today if you want to, but yeah, I'll explain. That's how Racer Club came about. Is a community. Our community just came to us and said, we know that Warp, which is our mother company, that I'm also a founder of that and CEO. We build tech, and we build solutions in tech. Let's apply our principles similarly as well in Web3 to make sure that if you're gonna release a tech or blockchain game, let's make it worthwhile. Okay, let's make it worthwhile for the space. So this is what we've been working on for the last I would say now since the start of the year all the way through now, but we're getting closer and closer every single day, which is our planned way of getting launched again, and it's a very, very cool way we're doing it as well, because we this time around is a bit different than last time. We're more experienced. Backing funding wise is like there's a lot of backing behind us, and we've already got the pre-built community, so it's going to be, this time around, I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, and by the way, I've been following. Of course, I follow you on Twitter and on the social, and I've seen all the 3D artwork, all the sliding of the cars, the characters being built.
Yes.
So you guys have been doing a fantastic job. So I'm very keen to discover what's gonna be about. Yeah,
sure, no problem, man. So yeah, if you want to, I can take you through the slides. This is what I said before, right? The problem is that today's Web3 games just are simply not ready. I don't think so anyway. And we've seen it in the aftermath of the crypto winter right now, where even people as big as Axie Infinity, Joho, I know him, I bless him, I love the founder there, he's great. But they went up all the way to like 3 million, 2.7 million daily active users, all the way down to 250,000 daily active users. So, it's not about the game itself. It's not about, because some of them are cool, some of them are, okay, but it's about the market. It's about people's receptiveness to loyalty and retention. Okay. And there's another driver to that there, which I'll go through in a second. But yeah, today's Web3 games are not ready. So that's why, we looked at this as a particular thing to do, a project to do, because we know that there's a massive void here to fill. And, as I said before, I think if you look at it from the outside and think of the current flaws and where they actually come out, the problems come out from. So one thing is tokens. If you look at tokens, most of the games out there, most metaverses and games, they all got single tokens. And what I mean by single tokens is they design a nice tokenomics method for their token. Then they attach it obviously to the token as a main game currency or utility token for their game. The problem with that is the utility of that actual token is not being used by the players. Okay, as in the players are not the drivers of that price. What is actually driving the price of the token is the market. Is basically what's happening on the market side. So liquidity from whatever exchanges they're listed on, whether it's via market making or whether it's via investors. It's not the players. So when you have that problem, the issue with the players, what they're going to do is they're going to say, oh, this pricing is too volatile, or why is whatever rewards I got today are working so hard for, why has it gone down in price? Now it's gone up in price, they'll be happy, but still it's temporary happiness. It's not stable happiness, not sustainable growth and happiness. So that's one issue with the token. With the NFTs, my opinion is this: yes, there's going to be plenty more NFTs being produced out there as we go along, whether it's currently on stacks on Bitcoin all the way to Ethereum, whether to Solana, whether to any new chains out there. It's going to continue to be many NFTs being produced, right? But I've got a problem with that, because I think today, if you produce too many NFTs currently without the actual use case of utilities, once again you're gonna oversupply the market, and you're gonna create this situation of useless NFTs, and we've seen it before. Like, so you got this old supply of NFTs out there doing nothing, right? So that was our biggest issue there. We've seen that around, and we thought, okay, you know what? Let's not work on oversupply. Let's work on what we have out there in the market and try to create utility for them there. The three other critical things is, one is player. You know, P2Es or play to earns today, the way they design is like, you know, you're anonymous, you're by yourself, you play yourself, you win yourself, and that's it, right? Like, it's so one-dimensional. So I think from a community standpoint, they always talk about, you know, I know a lot of people talk about the words community, utility, all that kind of stuff, but I think a community in a game can't actually really explode out if you're, you know, just playing by yourself all the time, you know. So that's one issue. The user element of things as well. Once again, you know, you always got just player, you play, you know, user mode as a player, okay. But this is one thing I think that we introduced quite innovative to kind of bridge that kind of esports kind of method, because we now divide and we give another, you know, 3D angle towards the user as well, the user type. So, you know, we've got player, we've got manager, and we've got fans. And that's quite critical, right? And I'll go through that in a bit. Last one is type. You know, all these games are web browser, like right now, you know, mainly they're web browser. Some of them are downloadable, that's fine. Some of them can be played on mobile even, that's okay. But if you really want to be serious about games, if you inspect them, that's why we deep dive all the way through. And we made a mistake as well in our first game that we released. We released the first game, the first ToastPunk Genesis Racer Club in Unity, and Unity was a web browser, right? Although it was okay for our community and everyone's happy with it and it's all good, we didn't go and proceed in the full release there, because we said we want to bridge esports, which is basically a cool new mainstream market that is growing very, very fast right now before it reaches mainstream. And the esports guys are like, hey, hang on, you know, what's that, you know, web browser game? They want proper games. They want, you know, something that they can download on the computer, play, LAN with their mates, League of Legends, Dota, all of that. So we wanted to be on the same level of playing field. So that's why we updated all the way to Unreal Engine. And we're now making it like a full competitive style racing game that is for these communities and also the mainstream later on. But that's what we feel as the main flaws right now in the P2E space. And you know, people, unfortunately, metaverses and existing games are hard to actually fill this gap, because they're already embedded and they already run their game. You know, they already run their token structure. They already run their NFT structure. They run their player structure. So they can increase and slowly improve on, but no one is actually looking at this as a wholesome sort of solution of what we can give. So that's where we come in, and that's what we are trying to do right now. But yeah, you can go to the next slide, bro. So this is I want to just highlight very quickly the player gap dilemma. That's what actually, you know, what I said before is not just what I'm saying. It's actually what we found from the market. This is the truth, okay? The market right now is stuck at 3 million play to earn players. That's it. They're stuck. It's going up, it's going down. Crypto with, like, yes, okay, there will be a boom, but I think why it's stuck right now is because there's this gap where, you know, gamers, the real world gamers are, and this I'm talking about, you know, there's few types of gaming markets, right? You know, we got the Web3, which is the play to earn. Then I've highlighted here, which is esports. Okay, mainstream is actually bigger than this. It's like 8 billion players. That's massive. That's mobile and everything else. But when you talk about competitiveness in players, because esports players as well, they play for the money, some of them, right? Because they go in teams, they go in leagues, they're in competition. So if you want to talk about the closest type of market to play to earn, which is essentially, you know, playing and trying to earn some money, right? The closest one is esports. Now, why is esports still got this fence and not, you know, saying that, you know, some of them are trying it, and then when they try it, they just go back again? Is because it's not welcoming enough, man. It's not there. It's like, you know, we go in there, it's what's this web browser thing, what's his token, you know, why is this token going up and down in price, why do I need to buy these tokens for, what's his new NFTs, you know? And you know, some of them accept it, some of them don't accept it, but you know, over and over again we're seeing today that most of them are just jumping back into the normal esports stuff because it's more stable, it's more important for them. So this is the dilemma out in the space today. I'm not saying the dilemma, it's actually what is happening right now, and this is what we are aiming to tackle more specifically. So yeah, we're going to overhaul the complete play to earn space. I don't care, you know, we always like to go against the wave, because you know, we're not just gonna copy something and just do it. Like, to me, that is not, like, you know, proper tech. You know, we need to investigate and we need to come up with solutions, right? Be innovative, right? So this is what we're intending to do. We want to give the play to earn name, the stigma behind Web3 games and everything else, a good name by actually bringing it closer towards esports. So that's the main thing what we were trying to do. And I'll show you how we're going to do it, okay? The first thing I spoke about was the user ecosystem. I think this is super critical. And Maurizio, you're Italian. Obviously you love sports as well. A lot of people out there in the world love sports. I love sports, I even do all my staff hires via sports. Like, I don't look at resumes and diplomas and all of that. I ask them, what sports do you play? And then from there, identify the character, the personality of that particular person, right? But anyway, what we did was we are embedding in our game a proven sports attraction formula, which is quite simple. You've got someone who looks after, the game. You got someone who plays the game, and you've got a bunch of people that support all these players of games. Now, why you have that is it's like, soccer, it's like F1, it's like any sport out there, you've always got these three facades to things, right? And that is what we're intending to embed. No other play to earn game has thought of this right now, okay? They're all just thinking about the players, they're thinking about the investors, they're thinking about, that's it. Like, the celebrities that's going to join temporarily, that's it. But no, we want to build a robust, growing platform that is going to continue to go and go and go. And that's how we intend to do it. So managers can, and we've set ourselves some targets and also some frameworks and some scarcity frameworks around what we want to achieve as well, based on our own, trajectories. So, Racer Club, I said before, we started this whole gaming thing about creating a game for our community. Okay. When I'm on this track, I said, you know what, let's spend more money and let's not just create for ourselves. Let's create for the space. Let's create for, because that's what we're about. We're about, giving back to the space, right? And I'm all about, how can I make this space better, right? So we said, let's spend more. Let's open it up. So 2,500 clubs, which is the licenses that we will sell for coming in and starting your own club. 2,500 clubs can come in, use their own NFTs, use their own tokens as well. That's the other cool thing we're going to do. And then their players or their holders can come in and play, and fans, anyone can watch different types of clubs, that races that go along, whether or not you do well or don't do well or whatever it is, you create stars in there. It's like the Barcelona, Real Madrid, kind of scenario. You got people will over time draw attention to specific things because of specific moments and specific players and specific achievements and rankings that is achieved. And that's what we want to achieve through Racer Club, basically.
Nice. That's fantastic. Sorry to jump in. I do love, of course, your passion, your knowledge. What's really interesting for me here is that you literally did a zoom out on the entire play to earn and said, okay, what we have clearly is not working. So instead of following whatever people are doing or following the money, following the market, I'm going to zoom out, map, and re-innovate. So my hats off to you, Matt. We need more people like you, definitely, in this space to make.
Absolutely, bro. So I showed you before, what the other, the current P2s are doing. This is what Racer Club is going to do. So from a token, I told you before, we won't have our own game token. Racer Club does not have their own game token. Okay. We are inviting each club to bring their own token on. Okay. And the reason for that is we don't need to have big tokenomics. We can have small tokenomics that are reliant on player loyalty. That's it. So they don't have to be big market launches, IDOs, all that sort of stuff. Immediately they can bring their own token on. And a lot of projects already do have their own ERC20 token. Because we're doing on the Ethereum space, the ERC20 token, right? I'll give you an example. One of the biggest one is with NFTX.io. NFTX.io, if you for those of you listening that have heard of them, they're a vault platform, right? Which currently has about 800 projects on there, all different vaults, and all the vaults have their own tokens, okay? And you got the likes of, CryptoPunks, MAYC, Doodles, Goblins, all the big projects on there, because that's how they manage their token of their collection. So they have a kind of like an ERC20 token that links back to the NFT token. So it's like a 1-for-1 kind of thing. And whatever the token price is, the NFT price goes up because there's an arbitrage opportunity that can be made along that. So, we are going to focus first at those collections there. But ultimately, anyone can start an NFTX a collection, or you can start your own social token as long as you back it with liquidity pool. That's how we want to aim to bring people on. Okay, but it's not going to be. That's why this is completely different. It's like throwing it back to everyone. Say not just the NFTs. You bring on tokens as well. Make it all really really cool. That's the second part of it, the NFTs. We're going to use existing NFTs, and I want to if you guys go and check out my YouTube channel ToastPunk, we spoke about CC0, and this is very 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 important in relation to NFTs, right? Because this is where we went through months and months with all the legal people to say, hey, are we allowed to use other people's NFTs as artwork, 3D artwork in the game? That's quite crucial, right? So the cool thing is A16Z came up with this in August. They came up with this 6 definitions of different types of usage of NFT IP. And they define it really well. I covered in there. I went through full detail in there anyway. My point, the long of it short is this. Absolutely. If it's CC0, which is basically general public use, anyone can use it, no problem. But if it's not CC0, which means that there's particular buckets it falls under, as long as the holder of that NFT assigns the IP to Racer Club and say, hey, I want you to use my NFT as a 3D character. So we go on, create a derivative of that character in the game. That's absolutely fine. That's cool. So we made a full kind of platform onboarding system. So to not make it too complicated, each Racer Club starts with 10 base characters. So how it works is the managers come on. We even create this new kind of syndicate mint method. It's called a syndicate mint, basically, because one club or one Racer Club belongs to one GamePack NFT license. We allow for 10 people to mint that GamePack NFT. Okay. And those 10 people, when they mint that NFT, or those 10, it could be either 10 people or it could be one person owning 10 NFTs. Either way, it doesn't really matter. But as long as they assign 10 NFTs in their slots of their manager slots, okay, those are the ones that we started and use as the main characters of the game. So you'll be like Mario, Luigi, Donkey, all of that. You choose different characters when you start a game. For different clubs, it'll be all their own different characters. So it'd be like 10 multiplied by 2,500 clubs. It'll be all these characters starting with. And then later, you can customize and do all sorts of things first. So that's what we're gonna do with the NFTs. It's gonna be really cool. Obviously, you can have an NFT from a collection and join a club that has been started already and managed by other people. No problem. You can go in there as long as you got the NFT. If you don't have the NFT of that particular club and you're a fan and wants to join them, that's fine. Just go to the marketplace and rent from that club. It could be CryptoPunk Racer Club. It's unaffordable. CryptoPunk is too expensive, but you want to play in that, no problem. If there's any CryptoPunks for rent there, you can go and rent it. Go and play in their club, challenge them, do what I need to do, play for their local punk tokens. So everyone plays for their own local tokens. And yeah, that's what we do with the tokens and NFTs. Players, now because of that, you have a sense of community. Every club is their own community, essentially. CryptoPunk Racer Club, Goblin Town Racer Club, Cool Cats Racer Club, Doodles Racer Club, BAYC Racer Club, whatever. They're all their own communities. So they play within themselves. They represent their own community. Whilst they're competing with each other and earning, later on, there's some cool little things that come along, which is called the crossover metaverse. So, everyone can jump into each other's thing and play as well. Users, I said before, we got players, managers, and fans. So that's now you got a spectrum, right? Not everyone wants to be a player. Not everyone can be a player. Not everyone's good at it. I'll be honest with you, I'm crap at racing. I'm crap at playing the game. But I'm probably better as a manager. Okay. I'm probably good at managing different clubs, enticing them, promoting the club, making sure that we go out there and maybe attract some sponsorships, after we do really well and things like that. So, not everyone suits the game, but you want everyone to participate in the game. So that's why you got manager, you got players, and then you got fans. Fans are the ones that could be, they want to learn first. They want to see how their idols play, or they want to, they want to look at it and then get ambitious enough, get courage enough for them later to try it themselves. Maybe they want to learn, how it is. Maybe they can't afford to play some of them as well, So it's a stepping stone basically for the whole ecosystem, so that they don't miss out and no one miss out at all. The type, as I said, we are building this for complete. To get it ready for esports, because it's no point us building silo by ourselves, making it all about ourselves. No, we are doing massive things with esports, which is not only we are going to create in Australia our own esports lounges, in all the universities that we've got collaborations with. So there's 41 blueprinted esports lounges in Australia that we're going to do, which we can franchise and do also elsewhere as well in the world. But we've spoken obviously to all the big guys in esports, the presidents of different universities, the actual national esports associations as well, and leagues, to say, hey, we're going to come up. Tell us what we need to make sure that we tick off the boxes with, so that we can be part of those kind of esports as well to do. And they're actually very cool. They don't mind if you're a Web3 game with play to earn and anything like that, as long as you got high-end graphics, what we have, Unreal Engine, things like that, networking opportunities, LAN opportunities, competition kind of format, referee systems, and all of that, which we got perfectly with the managers, the players, and all of that. So yeah, that's how we've actually made the whole thing happen for us. Okay. Our tech stack, as you can see, Unreal Engine, I said before, we're going to build it on, so it's a downloadable XE on your Windows Mac, okay? But that's for players, so players can get the full definition story of it. Now, if you want to get just a short, like what it is, it's basically this. It's Mario Kart meet Forza, because there's a storyline with it, meet Hot Wheels, because there's track builders and all these other things inside it. Because that's generally how the game is going to come up as. For those that not going to be playing, managers and fans, they or say they're playing as well, but they want to access it during their spare time or whatever. Web, you can access manager, and mobile, you can access manager. Fan, you can also access via mobile and also via web as well. So the player is the only one that needs to download and actually have the game properly. This will allow capabilities for us to bridge into Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, all that sort of other bigger stuff later on. That's not a problem. Actually, Steam can be done straight away, almost immediately. We have decided to build on Ethereum because there's we want to support the 2,500 Ethereum projects on, and we think that this is going to be the best thing for Ethereum, because we can relive all these older projects out there that don't have any utility, that can't get utility, right? Because it's not going to be expensive to mint. As in, what I mean by it's going to be more expensive than the normal kind of mints we see every day, but it's going to be not expensive at all to set your game up. Every single contract that we create, which is all part and parcel of each and every 2,500 clubs, are all CertiK audified. So we got the highest level of ensuring that the game quality, the contract vulnerabilities and all that sort of stuff is ticked off. Obviously, we'll have our own localized teams on standby all the time to make sure of this. It's quite important because vulnerabilities in games are there. And I did mention this before. Because it's all individual games, there's 2,500 different games, okay, that we can create under the Race Club platform. To be honest, if a hacker tries to hack us, or if they come in and they want to hack us, they might be able to get through one, okay, but then immediately we'll know what the hell happened, so we can protect the other 2,499, and then we can recover back that one there as well. So it's going to be hard to hack at the same time 2,500 clubs if you really want to go for it. That's why we created the format this way. That's why we made it from a Web3 perspective as well. It's super critical because big games also get hacked. Axie Infinity got 600 million taken from them from the Ronin chain. Bigger ones are vulnerable basically. So we got to make sure that we can protect ourselves from Angular, from different setup structures and all of that. NFTX I mentioned before, and OpenSea, obviously, our good partners there for the tokens and for NFT side as well. So that's our current, from a very simplistic form, that's our current tech stack.
I'm like mind blown about all these knowledge bomb that you are dropping here, because it's clear. I mean, of course I knew that you are someone who's serious about what you're doing, right? No question around that. But the fact that you literally had to decompose the entire market, look at all the players, what they've done, look at the non-Web3 games and analyze how they work. The player, manager, fan is genius. I think you can apply it to everywhere. I mean, it makes a lot of sense now that you explained to me, but I'm here thinking, damn, it does make sense, right? Why people have not thought about this yet?
So, well, that's the funny thing. A lot of VCs, come and go, hang on, why hasn't the big guys thought about this yet? It's actually, I got a very simple answer to that there. Okay. It's simple. When I think of building an idea, I think of building an idea or innovation for the community, for the people, for the space. Okay. Then I think about, obviously, stakeholders, shareholders, ourselves. Okay. Unfortunately, the current people today, they think it the other way around. They think first, how do we make money? Correct? That's number one. How do we make money? How do we get to this money part the shortest way possible? Okay. How do we ride on the current hype? These are the things that they ask first. I take these things, I throw them at the back. I said, listen, I don't care. Okay. Because I want to build something that is not just 1, 2, 3, or 5, or 10 years. I want to be able to have this moment right now. You and I are having this moment right now. You look back in 5 years and say, Racer Club defined what P2Es are about. As you know, we went out there, we did it. We showed what the world, what Web3 is capable about. Now, whether or not we become the biggest or whether become a stepping stone for other bigger people with hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to come in and build on something similar to our structure, that's fine. We know that we've defined the space. But for us to do it as the first and the original, that's always what we've done in everything that we've done. You know, the ToastPunk project, the Genesis project, the few other things that we built along the way as well. We've always been innovative in the space. So I will never detour from that as a founder. I will never detour in my vision as a founder to make sure that we put ourselves out there in the line and be innovative, because you know you don't get success by not putting yourself out there and trying to be innovative, right? So this is the whole point. And you know, once I explain, as you can see, you will understand as well what's the points behind it. Okay, it's basically 2,500 clubs to create fandom. You know, bring your own tokens, you get loyalty and utility for existing NFTs. So you know, I always mentioned this word utility before. I said, you know, everyone talks, and I've got so many different versions, and everyone talks about all their different versions of utility, all of that. I give them very, very, very simple example. I said, you know, you buy a shoe, okay, from the market. Like you go outside or you know, shopping center, you go buy a shoe, okay. Now, say it's a Nike shoe, okay. You buy to use it for what? To walk in it, right? To actually use it, to actually, you know, jog or run or whatever it is, whatever the particular shoe is for, right? Now it's a Nike, so you know, you might be a limited drop. You might show off to your friends, I got the latest version Nike, you know, whatever it might be, right? But what is the utility? The utility is to walk in it. The utility is to run in it. It is to do it for whatever it is. The showing off to your friends and to, you know, that extra, it's called auxiliary. That's all extra things. Okay. I think people are mixing up NFTs today. Like, I know, yes, NFTs technology is broad, right? But there's actually a use case utility at the very core of it, of what it can actually provide. And to me, this is about embedding integration with different things, such as games, you know, such as ticketing, such as various other things that NFT can actually use for, and actually be useful for someone to use every single day, versus just, oh, this gives me access to you know, an alpha group, or this gives me access to, you know, be able to, you know, join a thing, you know, like it's like access to like, come on, man. It should be, what can I use this for? What can I actually take this, use it for? So this is where, with this particular slide, I want to just remind everyone listening, BYO NFTs means, you know, the clubs that bring their own NFTs and form their own clubs, the 2,500 clubs, that gets instant utility for their collection. Then obviously, anyone that is part of those collections immediately can go and play in that game down there. And you know, the first 5 races are for free, because every NFT starts with 5 characters or 5 energy bars. After that, yes, you have to pay for energy to play in the game, but the rewards are amazing. Before we go that first, I'll say this is what we aim to do. We want to set ourselves apart from a technology standpoint, which is BYO tokens, BYO NFTs, you know, all that sort of contract templatizing out there, the white labeling sort of format for each game, giving utility, and towards esports. So this is what we want to make sure that we have different. This is the market. So as I said before, we got 2,500, you know, target markets. There's currently 80,000 NFT projects and many, many more jumping out there today. And that's why we don't want to bring out any more new projects. We just want to bring out one that can help these current existing markets. But what is actually interesting is what's going to happen, I think, after this, when we get it done correctly, when the actual esports fans market, which is 574 million people, come on to and latch onto this, you know, whether it's us, whether it's someone that actually bridges this properly, this is where it's going to be a massive opening straight away. It's basically, currently we've got 3 million play to earn players. This multiplies it by 20 times, you know, of where the market is. Actually, in fact, more than 20 times. And then this is growing very fast as well. I want to show people what happens with the money spent in the game. So this is what I was talking about before, right? So basically, when a player spends $100, okay, and this is quite crucial. When a player spends $100 to buy, you know, energies to race in the game or booster packs or anything like that in the game, How it gets divided is this. It's very simple. $65 goes to a pool that goes back to all the winners of the games, that particular racer club, okay? Another $15 gets taken out and put into a staked winning pool. Basically, anyone that has those winnings there, because the condition of each win is that you got to keep it staked in the game for 7 days automatically. In that 7 days automatically, you will earn some extra on top of it, whatever it is. So if, say, for example, you want prize number 1 at $50, it's auto stake for 7 days. So in that 7 days, whatever that comes through from that $15 staking pool, you get extra as part of your proportion. That's it. So you won't be $50. You'll be higher than what when you get to withdraw it at the end. You can also you can also keep it staked if you really want to keep earning. So it gives people the option: I need to take money out, or I can keep it staked as well. The third $15 goes to the manager down below. Now these are the people that actually help created the club and manage the club and keep pushing the club and keep building and making sure that communities are there as well. So they get $15 and we get $5 as developers. That's it. Now, if you look at this whole format of the tokenomics, this is the tokenomics basically of each game. Okay. You can see here that there's $100 spent in 65, 15, and 15. So it's total of 95% goes back straight to the game economy. Now, no other P2E today can do this. None. Zero. Because you know why? They've got a big tokenomic structure where they need to have, this portion going to market making, this portion going to team, going to everything else. You know what ends up to the players? Maybe about 10 to 15%. That's it. Okay. This is 95% of whatever is spent in a game going straight back to the players.
Thank you so much for sharing all this with us today. But I do believe that the reason why you're going to succeed is because you're putting people first. Then I think monetization is a consequence of, I do believe that monetization should be a consequence of, I think about my community first, and monetization is going to come after. So, and you can see, through these diagrams that, it's clear.
The key thing is I don't want people to worry about these tokens. I don't want people to worry about, what's happening with the tokens they're earning and what's happening. I don't want people to worry about that. I want people to worry about the game and how you're going to be better at your game. How are you going to actually rank up? How are you going to compete? How are you going to be the best in your club? How are you going to represent your club as the best striker? How are you going to represent how are you going to actually do this? And all that auxiliary, as I said, to me, the tokens is auxiliary in here. The game is the importance here. Bringing the community together, making sure that they are the best. And then going out there and representing your club, okay, and being whatever you can be. But by doing so, most of it all goes back. As I said, we need 5%. We only need 5% is because this is what our base is, right? So from this year, we can continue to develop and continue to produce more things and continue to help everyone out there, which we have commitments to give, a lot of these back to the ecosystem again, not just via the player ecosystem, which is what we got, but the actual chain ecosystem, like Ethereum. Okay, the great thing about Ethereum, we know, went from proof of work to proof of stake, which is really excellent. Now there's validators that can come in as well. We want to be one of the biggest validators that will assign back to our own game as well, so that we make sure that gas pricing is down, but also on top of that, making sure that the Ethereum chain as a whole can function and do much better over time. So these are the key visionary stuff we have later on what we need to do. And don't forget another thing, just a little alpha I'm going to drop here, because I like to drag small little alphas around here. If you realize what I'm trying to say here, that each club will have their own token, which means this money you see here, $100, $65, actually in the token value of whatever it is. It's pegged to the USD. So every game, no matter what, it's always going to be the USD peg, but it comes in the form of their own local token. Now, as a Racer Club Labs, us, essentially we would be ending up with 5% of 2,500 different tokens from different clubs. So we have everything. Our ultimate goal, I'll be honest with you, we want to have one of the most safest, most aligned exchange, basically. So to compete with Binance and everything else, specializing on NFTs, okay? To give fractional ownership of NFTs to the masses there as well.
Wow, yeah, that I didn't think about that, because of course you said anyone can come in with their own token, which means, like you said, 2,500 different tokens, right?
A lot of people know who I am already, but I introduce two of my core pillars, what I call, and obviously we've got a bunch of other people as well work with us. But these, I want to introduce two very special people to me, my core team members that work with me a lot. So Roman is our CTO. I've been working with him for the last, so all my projects, all my startups that I've started and exited out, a lot of times I bring him on as the main chief lead on building those application developments, all the way from government, all the way from standard stuff, small things, big things, all sorts of stuff. I trust him in my life with tech. So that's why I need someone right hand for me to do with that there. Roman's got 15 years of experience. He's built many, many things out there. He's high caliber tech kind of person. Okay. So he's full-time in the business with me. Vince, I met him in, one of the other businesses I've done in the energy space. Just an amazing guy who knows how to have different play different roles in organizations, and is a super people's person. Okay, he brings with him $7.7 billion worth of trade sales experience, in M&As, all sorts of other things, a lot of private offices, public scenarios, all of that there. He's 25 years of experience there. As I said, I want to specifically highlight these three people because these are the people that actually help build the ToastPunk project, the acquisitions of the Irish Oracle project that we did recently as well, Racer Club Labs, and various other things that we're doing behind the scenes. As the ToastPunk people would know, there's Crypto Toast, there's the Web3 particle for Irish Oracle, all of that there. This is the team that makes it happen. These are the people. I know I'm in the front with speaking all the time, but I just have to thank these people as well because they're the ones that help me a lot. And yeah, this is the three pillars of our strength of our business: finance, tech, and businesses, which is my angle there. The rest is all people that I adore and love. We've got people from all over the world in remote offices that work for us in the community side, in the development side, the gaming side, etc. But yeah, this is particularly three people that I just wanted to show you guys what's going on.
Nice, fantastic.
Yeah, so that's the end of this particular pitch. Firstly, Maurizio, thank you for letting me share this with you today. I know it's meant to be an interview, but I'm doing most of the talks, and after this, definitely I want to have some questions with you. But obviously the white paper will have all the detailed information on the actual the high level, as much as possible, information on what it is. And I did not mention anything about our own token, even though we're a Web3 project, which is called the R Club token. Because of the matter is we will launch this only once we hit our middle milestone. Our middle milestone is 800 clubs. And once we've onboarded 800 clubs, then only we'll roll out the actual datelines and all of that for the token generation and from our own utility token, which is essentially going to be used for this place we'll create called the Asset Creators Marketplace. The Asset Creators Marketplace is where the clubs, the players, outside people, designers, fans, all of that can meet up and offer their game upgrade assets in there, their design skills. So basically, if you want to upgrade anything in your own racer club, you have to go through the Asset Creators Marketplace. And with the Asset Creators Marketplace, you got to use the R Club token. Obviously, the R Club token will be a governance token as well. It'll be used in the crossover metaverse that we're going to create as well for the tournaments, for the esports, major prizes. And there'll be a bunch of other utilities as well for the R Club token, in real life sort of stuff, maybe to do with motorsports, to do with car sales and all that, all my background sort of things. But yeah, I didn't want to talk too much about that because that to us is important only once we achieve our first goal, which is the 800 clubs. Currently, I'm putting everything in my YouTube channel as far as videos are concerned. But obviously later on, Racer Club will have its own YouTube channel, most likely. It already has its own Twitter account right now, Racer Club Labs. But yeah, a lot of cool things are going to come out from the Racer Club project direction itself, from the team there. I will remain positioned as CEO of Racer Club Labs. But yeah, it'll be a whole different spectrum of high-level team members, all the way to managerial team members, to community managers and everything else. It's like going to be a massive team basically set up for it, and we're going through the run right now. So if you're interested to be part of the project, just let us know. Can submit your resumes or let us know, or contact us on Twitter so that we know what's going on.
Thank you so much, Matt. It's been an absolute amazing experience in diving into your brain. The market is trying to find its own way on how to become a thing, but like you said, most of the people, they've done some stuff in the space, they kind of focused on the money first. And I think, sure, I love your angle. I mean, I know, like I said in the beginning, disclaimer, I own the OG, everything you've done, a big fan because of this reason, right? Because I know who you are, I know how you operate. So having you now here telling us how you are going to approach these again with the same process, which is community first. Then what happens after is a consequence of of my labor. So I think it's gonna succeed. Fantastic. Question. So if you have a NFT, either like a Genesis or an OG ToastPunk, would you be able to have any advantages? Would you be able to play?
Of course, I'll tell you the two advantages. Okay. So with the ToastPunk Genesis NFT, 30-day early access before anyone else. Okay. So our roadmap, our full roadmap is we're gonna launch one game first, which is ToastPunk Genesis Racer Club, and then after that it's 800 racer clubs, and then once we reach 800 racer clubs, then we will let the balance take over itself with the token generation event and everything else. Now, ToastPunk Genesis holders get 30 days before everyone else. Okay. Another thing is, in the current Genesis project, there is still 1,000 of them with the upgradable. Remember the upgradable metadata? Okay. Having that, and we made the announcement probably about a month ago, having that will give you instant XP to go to player 2 straight in the game. So you start off the game as a level 2, which means 1,000 XP in there, a bit more extra boost here and there. It's really cool. So that 1,000 has been going crazy in the market, that Genesis there. OG, on the other hand, guess what? Who's going to be the managers for ToastPunk Genesis Racer Club? It'll be the OG DAO, which is basically whoever owns the OG has that there. So there will be the main treasury, the main managers for that particular ToastPunk Genesis Racer Club, and reap all the benefits for the $15 out of the $100 that comes through, all go straight to the OG DAO. So being an OG community member, that's quite important there.
And by the way, guys, for those of you who have not seen the video from me and Matt talking about the OG and ToastPunk, I'll link it down in the description. It's a fantastic interview we've done a while back. So I'll also link that one down there. Is there anything else you would like to add on the call today?
Well, all I'm gonna say is this, guys. If you're if you came into this Web3 space, whether you're coming as a new person, whether you've been around for a while, we know there's so many roles you can play in the space. Okay, I know a lot of you have come in, tried that trading sort of method, trying to make money, degen here, flip there. Great. If you made it succeed, great. Okay, but we know that a lot of people have failed along the way, and fail not particularly for anything else. It's mainly greed. Okay, so most important thing to remember is here: do not be greedy. No matter who you are, no matter what you're doing in the space, whether you're a founder, whether you're a person that is on the community side, whatever it is. I think if the two things I can teach people is don't be greedy and be patient. Please be patient, because you don't have to be impulsive on what you want to do. Good things come with time, and follow those particular projects that are actually building in the space. Always do your own research, and ask other people. Always keep asking your peers in the community, people out there, what's going on, because that's the best way. I've learned how to grow us up and to make us better, because there's a lot of bad actors out there, but there's also equally a lot of good actors out there. You just need to find the right ones, and be with those ones that will help you sustain this journey all the way through mainstream. So those are just the final words maybe I want to leave, to make sure that everyone out there. I mean, the last time when we spoke, I think I mentioned about safety, which is quite common, and I think everyone's getting better at that there. But just importantly, if you're coming from the Web2 space, one other thing just to remember here: if you're thinking it's easy, you think there's a lot of money to be made and everything else, Maurizio will tell you, I will tell you, a lot of other founders will tell you, no, it's not. It is the most difficult thing you can ever do, and you need to have perseverance. You need to have knowledge base. You need to understand. You need to be resilient, versatile, agile. All these traits that will allow you to maneuver the craziness of Web3 right now. But if you do that well, you will have a great community and a great product and a great future in this space. But yeah, just very, very important. Don't jump the gun on anything.
Yeah, very well said. Don't give up. Be persistent, be patient, and then do your own research. These are honestly some of the best advices you can possibly have, because people see it from the outside. Oh, that guy got lucky. Well,
exactly. So I look at my inbox all the time, and I follow a lot of VC newsletters and everything else. And imagine me as a founder, Series A being launched, 50 million in, this one being launched 150 million in, this one being launched 100. You look at it and you think, oh, you know what? why is that not happening to everyone that is actually building well in this space? Obviously, these are high level things, and these things that happen to those that persevere. And you know that there's months and months and months and months of building before that happens. You only see the headline, right? So to me, it's always, you know, when you look at a headline or a news, you go, there's always something behind that. There's always something that happened before that. There's always a process behind that. No one just, you know, it's not like the you know, Tats Lotto, you know, where, you know, okay, yeah, someone won 160 million last night because they bought a ticket the day before. Never ever happens in business in VC world. Trust me, it doesn't happen at all. It's no way at all anyone gets that lucky. It's years or months of experience and build and perseverance to get where they need to get. Key important thing is always innovation. That's what I've learned in everything that I've done. So that's why with what we're doing in Racer Club and what we've done with the community so far is all about that.
From my perspective, definition of luck equals when preparation meets opportunity, right? So that's how I call luck.
Yes, cool.
and we both are here on a Sunday to prove it.
There we go, brother.
Especially for you, because it's super late, and I'm gonna.
You know, to me, it is I actually wanted, if the sooner I could meet you, the better. I just wanted to meet you. I wanted to catch up with you again because, you know, we haven't spoken in a long time, and I just loved, you know, and I know you've been busy, you know, and I'm so happy for you with, you know, Da Vinci and all of them.
Thank you so much, Matt. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the channel. We have to do it again. Guys, please smash the like button, you know, to share the love, because, you know.
Let's go. Come launch of this, I want to be on again, and let's make it, let's do it. Let's make it huge, bro.
Fantastic. Thanks again, Matt. I will speak to you soon.
Thank you, Maurizio. Be well. Thanks.
Bye. Bye.